Hi, once again, this is Joe Miller, your lawyer. If you're receiving this video, or you're seeing this video on the internet, either you're inquiring about this information or you have come to pretty much the end of your case. And congratulations are in order because you're looking at getting your settlement, which is a great thing because you and I together and our team here at the Work Injury Center have been working hard to make this happen for you, and we're in the home stretch. So you probably have some questions. I want to dive into that and explain a few things about how that works. So the first thing that you're going to get, let's talk about some of these things and how this is going to go. So the first thing that you're going to get, and this is a Virginia workers' comp settlement now. North Carolina's a little different. We're going to have separate videos about that. So here's how. The first thing you're probably going to get is something that's called an employee informational letter. It's like a form to fill out. It's a few pages. Now, what is that all about? It's going to ask what seems like a lot of very private information about your marital status, your family, your dependents, your income, any other income you might have outside of what you were getting on your workers' comp, insurance, your debts, any other financial assets you may have. And you may be saying, well, what the heck is that anybody's business? Why do I need to disclose all this stuff? And let me explain that to you. The reason why that's important is because the Virginia Workers' Compensation Commission has to approve all these settlements, and we can agree on whatever we want, but if they don't approve it, then you don't get your money. So all the things that go into their approval process are on this form. I mean, we know what they require, we know what they're interested in knowing, so that's what we do. We gather all that information first. The paralegal will send you that, and you need to fill that out in as much detail as you can. And what I do then is once I get that information, I'm going to create out of that a letter, what's called an informational letter. And that informational letter is going to go to the commission under seal. In other words, nobody gets to see it except me and you and the commissioner who's reviewing whether or not they're going to approve your settlement. The defense counsel doesn't get to see it. None of those people get to see it. And that is going to help the commission help me make the argument as to why they should approve your settlement. And also understand another thing, that as far as that information goes, the stuff that's in there, nobody after the settlement, nobody's going to follow up with you to say, well, he said he was going to spend his money like this from the settlement, or he said he had these finances. Nobody's going to go behind you on that and say, make sure that you spend it like you said you were going to spend it. Okay, that's not going to happen. So don't worry about any of that stuff. Just you need to tell the truth, but don't go crazy over it and worry about all that stuff. Nobody has access to this information. Okay, so that's the first thing. So what will happen after that? Okay, once we get that information and I have that available to do your informational letter that we submit under seal, we're going to get from defense counsel, something called a petition and order. What are those items? A petition and order is basically what we submit to the commission to petition them to approve your settlement, and also the order that they're going to sign to basically approve your settlement. Both of those things are submitted. There's a few other documents. We'll have an affidavit there there'll be an affidavit that the defense always requires and the commission always requires that, it's been explained to you that you don't have to do this settlement, that, you could get the rest of your money for over 500 weeks, and if you want to wait the 500 weeks, and that you might have, lifetime medical benefits, assuming you have these things, okay? And that despite all these things, despite knowing these rights, you're agreeing to these settlements. That's an affidavit that the commission always requires. Also, if it's part of your bargain in your case, oftentimes they make you do a resignation. You're probably not working anymore at the same job, but they may have you do a resignation from that job. We have separate videos about that, so why that's part of it. In addition to that, we may have basically a reaffirmation of our fee agreement, which is, again, it's typically 20% plus whatever the expenses are that we had to forward on your case. We had to, go ahead and spend on your case, and that's a little affidavit also that's part of it as well. And we'll either have you come in and sign those documents, or we will send them to you, whatever's more convenient for you. And then once those documents are signed by you and come back to us, of course, we're going to review them first before we send them to you. Once they come back to us, then they're sent to defense counsel, and then defense counsel, unless they've already signed it, then defense counsel sends it on to the Virginia Workers' Comp Commission, and that will be part of the settlement process. In other words, they go ahead and review those documents, and if they approve them, that order will be entered. Once they receive the documents, typically it's within 2 weeks to a month, depending on who's up at the commission, who's on vacation up there, It really depends on what time of year we send it in. Again, it can be 2 weeks to a month or so for them to review that. And then once it's entered, the order will come down. We will know the moment that the order drops and that the order is entered. And what you need to understand is if you're under an award, okay, then your checks, if you've been under an award, you've been getting your workers' comp checks, that will continue until the date that the award is entered by the commission. Also, your medical treatment, if you're getting prescriptions and things like that, that will also continue until the date of the award, the order approving settlement is entered by the commission. Okay, so it's a two-step process so far. We're going to get these papers, fill them out. We file them with the commission. Okay, I file my informational letter under seal, and then the commission reviews it. That is a 2 week process to a month process. Then they will enter the order. Assuming that they approve it, they will enter the order. Okay, so now we're at step 3. From that point forward, okay, they have 47 days to give you your check for your settlement. Okay, 47 days. Where do I get 47 days? It's about 30. It's 30 days for the order to become final, technically under the law. Then they have 14 days once it becomes final. They have 14 days to comply with that order, and then 3 days for mailing. So it's 30, 14, and then 3. That's what we get, 47. Okay, so I can tell you that most of the time, once that order drops, you're going to get your check within a couple of weeks, a month tops, usually within 2 to 3 weeks. It's very rare that they go beyond the 47 days. If they do, there is a 20% penalty on them. In other words, your settlement increases by 20%. We don't see that too often for that reason. If you have a substantial settlement, that could be a lot of money. Okay, so we don't see that too often at all. That's pretty much it. Another thing you should know is that as far as our money and our expenses and all that, those 2 checks are sent separately. We get our fee and our expenses as set forth in the order, and you get your check separately. We're sent ours in the mail, and you're sent yours in the mail, and we don't see your check that's sent separately. And then, that's pretty much it. And that's pretty much the whole settlement process. We do recommend that, look, if you're thinking about getting work, if you're not going to find work somewhere, move on to another job, assuming you're not working now, okay? What we always tell people is, let's do 2 things. Let's wait until 30 days pass, okay, after that order is entered, so it becomes final. That's the first thing. Second thing is wait till you get your check in your hand. You have those 2 things happen. And then once those 2 things happen, if you want to go find yourself a job somewhere, whatever, do something that's going to make you some more money, more power to you. I hope you can do that. And once again, I want to wish you congratulations. Okay, and it's been great working with you, and I hope this doesn't stop here. I hope we have a continued relationship over the years, because we get very close with our clients, and it's a privilege. So please be well. Congratulations again. And if you have any other questions about the settlement process, please don't hesitate to call. But remember, you can review this video over and over again. So you missed out on some parts, you wasn't sure what I said, because I talk kind of fast sometimes. That's fine. Please go back and review it again. And again, if you have any additional questions, please don't hesitate to call us. Take care. Joe Miller out.